Hi Gemini, if you'd like to come on in and have a seat for some symbolic support, my name is Steph. Here's your ink blot I've made in your name and essence if you want to take a screenshot so you can scry in your own time and terms for shapes and symbols that speak to your psyche and psychic senses.
Spirit guides.
We are going to add on tarot and oracle, and as well we have ghost tube here kicking for any audio additions that may further inspire or irritate, so please do receive or release freely. Gems, I'm a little bit under the weather, but I'm on the other side of it, so I apologize for any stuffy sounds or, sexy smelly cat. Smelly cat. But here we are. So thank you for being my muse. Let's dig in here. If you'd like to open up with me, you're more than welcome to, or you can fast forward through when you're ready. Taking a nice big breath. Closing the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush. Activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support in the name and to honor of Gemini. Gems, as always, thank you so much for being my muse, for holding space for me to share my insights and allowing me to be a guest in your aura. Gratitude galore. All right, let's dig in. You know the drill. If you see, sense, or feel anything, please feel well to comment below or keep to yourself. I gotta say, every so often, and every ink blot is my baby, but every so often, there is an ink blot that just stands out, and your ink blot is one of them. So, I want to start off with, you have some cards here that came out in the pre-shuffle. So, the number 16, I am perceptive, and as well Sagittarius, acclaim. And when I first stepped into your ink blot, this conversation right here, if you're on a phone you can zoom in, but I'll do my best to bring it up without shattering. There we go. So it's like this energy talking to spirit, and I see it like some sort of fairy. And not that you have to believe in the fairy realm or anything along that lines, but there's something about this connection that feels powerful. And as soon as the Sagittarius acclaim card came out, like even the coloring of how she's in like blue and touching this orb of white, and I'm going to say spirit and the spirit of all that is. So there could be somebody you are connecting with. Oh, okay. So could be like the roof glass ceiling of your perception, your perspective. If there's somebody in the afterlife aura that you've been connecting with or trying to connect with. But I do feel like this is like a spirit guide being. Sorry, and my ears are plugged as well, so I really don't know if I'm yelling at you or whispering. I apologize. I really do apologize. Also, the name Kurt is coming through. I don't know if that means anything to anyone. So this spirit guide, like, they're very, very large. Okay, there's also a face in here. I'm seeing the alien from American Dad. So you might have somebody that has been with you. They're like family. Could be Starseed spirit guide or Starseed spirit guide. But I can't get around this fairy-like feeling, like you might see them in flutters, or you see them in videos as orbs, corner of your eye. But this feels like your energy that steps out, and it's like I see you, I see them, and it's almost like I can reach out and touch them. Also could be some form of lucid dreaming, where you're interacting with said guide or soul that once was incarnate. Sorry, give me a second here. You see this happening? Like you are lighting up. And I mean like lightening up and lighting up. I'm almost seeing it like Rudolph, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Interestingly enough, as you said, anger goes to, because it's like this rusty red, which brings me into like deep-seated potential passion or pissed offness. So an anger of sorts. But it's lightening up, and it's almost like I'm putting, what's that saying when people say you can't put lipstick on a peg or something. I don't know if that's even appropriate, but nonetheless, there's something that Geminis you're doing that might feel, give me a moment, almost prehistoric at this point in time in the way I feel about something or someone, of myself, or in the reflections that I'm seeing in my reality. And they're being asked to, and I think that you're doing it because you're listening to it, you're lightening it up, because I'm seeing like pussy willows, and now there's a softness coming about it, like cotton balls, like you're just, there's some sort of lightening up about it. And they're like not Christmas bulbs, but they're almost like, again, those little fairy lights. And it's like, I'm not dressing up my anger or irritation.
It's inside.
I'm almost no longer boiling about it. I've moved on from it. I've moved on from it because I moved through it. I moved through it. I want to take a look at it in here. Yeah, even see there's a skull. A skull of this. Some of you might have the skill or a scare in regards to like a skinwalker in that lore of sorts. Okay, skinwalker, it's funny. Skinwalker and shapeshifter.
Friday.
Either you have the ability to shift forms. You have shift. Okay, so thank you. It's the fire element. It's the fire element. And I can shift forms, states of perception, altered states, even in bringing me back into the lucid dreaming, which is a form of shape-shifting. Like my energy, this is how I feel, Geminis, in your aura, excuse me.
Punished.
Whew. Thank you. I have this ability to shift. And the skin that I'm walking in is now different. Okay, so I want to do this. I apologize. So there we go. The Sagittarius with a claim, and then the 16, I am perceptive. I'm going to read this to you, and then you also have a rune here. 16 could go up to a 7 or 1, 6, 16 days, 16 years cycle, something along that lines. You have an inquisitive mind that allows you to uncover important truths. You have a special ability to read into others people's feelings, a wisdom seeker, and your angels seek to share your knowledge for the benefit of others. Yeah, this skill or scare, this special ability, Skinwalker Shapeshifter, it's like if you had a scare with what one may perceive as a skinwalker, or it could also be something about your land, and your own ability to shift and shape your perspective is a special ability. And I'm almost not concerning with myself with being able to read others. It's like being able to read a room, knowing that I am the observer of said room. So whether or not other people, places, or things, whatever those channels are, personal, professional, this, that, or the other, excuse me, I understand that I'm reading the room, the resonance of this room, and how I'm going to interact with it versus maybe giving them control over how I might resonate. The Cobras come in here as well. Is your rune that step forward? Why is this so bright? Sorry if I'm like sticking my hand in there. Is that better? So there's your Cobra. The Cobra spirit brings transformation, healing, protection, immortality, and is the guardian of nature and its secrets. Your Cobra spirit helps you to slow down and be more observant, thus awakening your creative forces. Cobra teaches one to be patient, charming, confident, and wise. Okay, this is beautiful. It's like at some point in time, your Cobra here has like
coming to get me.
Transformed. Kundalini energy, something else you might be working on, but you are charming. And you can charm yourself into situations that are for not only the benefit of you, but for others. It's like taking the twin concept of Gemini.
Hammer.
And they share knowledge for the benefit of not only the self, but again, the room. The room. I don't know what this is about, this room that keeps coming up. Maybe it's like, Beach Boys song in your room, or something about lucid dreaming, something, the room in your mind, in your mansion. I'm going to keep going here. There's blatantly a caterpillar that's turning into, I'm not seeing it actually as a butterfly. I'm seeing it as a dragonfly. That symbol might mean something to someone. Golden spirals of creation. Okay, there's also a labyrinth of love. And when I say love, it's the feeling, that same feeling of the room. The room I might hold, if in holding space for love of what I want, love of what I desire, love of all things, shadows included. There is, right here, it's some sort of knife. I don't know the different kind. I'm just trying to think of like forged in fire or something like that. It's almost like a hunting one or a hand one. It has like a nice handle, ornate handle. And the blade...
Thank you.
You're welcome. Could be obsidian. So it might be from like a different time frame, this tool that you have. This caterpillar turning to dragonfly or butterfly, I'm seeing the steps of it as the game Candyland. Fascinating. Okay, I'm going to keep going here. Because there's something in the shadow. It's Gemini, the way I'm seeing it is it's like the shadow and the shaman. And shamans typically work within the shadows or inner earth stuff, but this feels, again, it's another room within a room within a room. And this isn't to be confusing. This is like you're the creator of a labyrinth or a maze. It's like being in this building. Okay, so now I'm seeing the show Severance, and they walk through all these hallways. And not everyone knows the path, but you know the path because you're the builder of this mansion. You are the architect of this. You are the architect of this. Can I add on some more cards here? All right, sorry. Let's keep going here. Thank you so much, Geminis. If you haven't already, please do like, share, and subscribe. I truly appreciate your presence. It is powerful, and you warm my haunted heart. You truly, truly do. We're here for Gemini.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Other than my ears are plugged and I can't hear, but I'm good. How are you? Awake. Okay, thank you. Do you see all this gold here? And I want to plop that card right in there. Whew. Okay. Geminis, you are woke to anything, including of yourself, at least the way I'm feeling.
Olivia.
That might have okay. Here we go. You know the whole woke thing that's going on. Okay, and that's fine. I'm not going to judge it one way or the other. But you are awake. Your awareness, your ability to be awake in your dream, your ability to be awake while you are awake, to be very aware. Again, you're very perceptive of altered states of awareness. But something has happened. Yeah, there is something that happened here. And I want to plop that in this Dominator. I will take you in 2 seconds. And I want to plop this card with all this red here. Again, that anger or passion. But now I feel like I'm being supported. I'm being supported by something that once I thought that was trying to dominate me. And I realized, again, I'm reading the room. That is an aspect of me. It reminds me of like sleep paralysis. And then I realize I can move a finger. Or I don't actually need to fight the sleep paralysis daemon. It is if I surrender and almost, and not in like the surrender, not in the typical way. It's like I'm not fighting you because I am you and I love you and I want to lighten this up. This old entity, this old energy could also be something in relation to bloodlines, lineages, family. Again, excuse me. Abandonment, if anyone has any sort of abandonment issues. And it's like I wasn't abandoned. At least I'm not dismissing that one might have been through those feelings. I'm trying to be very compassionate here. But how I'm feeling in this moment is if I had a concept of abandonment, people, places, or things, I rested into that,
In danger.
no longer it dominating me, and I realized I can create the conditions of where I am abundant. Not abundant in abandonment, abundant. And again, this like cobra rises up. That kundalini rises up. It says those don't define me. They were situations for me to harness an old power or a skill set. It might have scared me. Something might have scared me. Absolutely. But I turned that scare into a skill. Not to scare others. It's like not perpetuating a cycle. I'm not perpetuating a cycle. And this brings, and that's because like that's what you're I don't want to use the word woke to, but you're awake to it. You're awake to it. And then you have here maintaining consciousness, card 33, and centered power. Because now
Jacob.
There's right in here with that spirit of creation, spirit of all that is, your spirit guide. Excuse me. You are open up to receive. Your whole mind is a portal of perspective and perception. But the way I'm seeing it is almost like having to tune a radio. Okay, tune a radio.
33.
Yes, maintaining consciousness, card 33. There's that spirit realm again. And then also focus, like I'm not a photographer person, but like on cameras, like they have the different zooms or focusing things. And you get to do that in like taking pictures of the room. Does that make sense?
Smile.
I feel like it does. Smile. Geminis are taking pictures. I love it. I love it. Okay. Anything else oh, excuse me. See here for Gemini's closing out messages. There's something so profound here in your shadow that's stepping through now and is shining. It's, again, I want to come into, there's lots of antlers around you. Antlers and possibly ants, like aunties.
Why?
Yeah, Grandmother Earth. We'll take another one. Ow, listen. Okay. There's a wisdom. It's like if something scares me, on the bottom you have ego medicine. If something scares me, Geminis, or even like gets you nervous. It's like I call in this fairy godmother or spirit guide energy. That's what it feels like. Because I feel like I'm kind of, Gemini, sorry, give me a moment here. In your centered power in maintaining consciousness in your awakeness and dominion, it's like I have this feeling when I am feeling a certain way. I feel like it's done invisibly, especially if this is in a public arena, but maybe personal. And I'm feeling a little nervous or scared or trepidation. Okay. I take a moment and like with the thunder drum of my heart, like I don't need a drum. I am the drum. The beat is within me. But I use that. It's like I tune into it to calm my heart down, to find a beat. And I breathe so I don't pass out. That's how it makes me feel. So I don't pass out. So some could be working through some anxiousness or anxiety. And I find this beat. And then as this beat steps forward and calms down to a pace that allows me to open up my perspective again, this fairy godmother, this fairy realm, spirit guide, whatever the case may be, starts to come in. Here's that call. And medicine. They work with me to remind me of my own medicine. And vice versa. It's almost like having asthma and taking a puffer. Making sure I have my medicine with me. Because the cobra helps you to slow down. Even though there's this rising in like kundalini, but the cobra also coils up to slow down, and again, it can like choke out or it can slow down and coil up in the basket, right? Cover it. Something in my sleep state about this, when my heart starts to race, noticing the difference between anxiety and excitement, nervousness, or trepidation. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, Gemini? Sorry if I got lost in there. Is there anything else? Because I always have these tools. There's also a face in here. It feels like it's like in and out of the shadows. Like maybe it's a different part of your psyche or your...
Keep going.
It looks like a male. Like there's the chin, there's the mouth. Something might have happened to somebody. And I'm reeling from the grief of it. I'm reeling from the grief. Maybe it was like a knife fight or something along that lines, or there was something about a knife. And maybe it kind of haunts me. There's a conversation here as well with this big Candyland caterpillar and then this like little chickadee. I don't know if you're helping someone or someone's helping you. It's like the adult and the inner child at the same time, if that, that makes sense without being cheesy about it. But it's like feeding your young, feeding the youth inside of you. I'm seeing it like pellets. I don't know how else to say that. Yeah, maybe this person was murdered. They could have been. Because it's like they're half in, half out. But they're there in your your energy of the way you are remembering them. Okay, one more card. Sorry. All right. One last card here, Gems. Thank you again so much. I hope this did serve and inspire. I'm also seeing somebody like tell stories around, like, I don't know if it's at a library or, again, if it's your family, your nieces, your nephews, your children, maybe just different people of your adult age. But it's like you listen to each other like in a sharing circle, and you listen intently like children would. There's an authenticity there. I'm not trying to diminish it by saying, like, but as adults, it's like sitting around listening to each other over tea or coffee, whatever the case is, and everyone takes their turn listening and talking.
Horror.
Because it's helpful, and possibly things that have really hurt, but it works through the shadows. It's like being a part of a grief circle or AA, and it can seem horrifying to spill how you're feeling or to recap that. But again, there's something about reading the room and knowing this is a safe environment with these people quite specifically. You might even be the lead of that, or you might be creating something along that lines. Yeah, it's about like things that maybe you wouldn't just talk about with anyone. It's like yeah, because everyone has their differences about it, of how they're working through said griefs, and maybe some sort of guilt in relation to how one might feel you have a hand in it, or I could have done enough, or I didn't do enough, whatever the case may be. And again, I feel like that it's a scary place to put that on your heart.
Desk.
Maybe some of you are also writing about it. But I feel so... Yeah, I'm being very honest with myself. And there's all that light again. It's like lighting up. Belonging. I belong with this group of people wherever I am in relation to the healing, that share a perspective. And not because it has to be the same. It's not about that. This is about sharing stories that can sympathize without giving sympathies necessarily. And it does help shift things in the shadow, and then it turns into shine. I'm going to leave this here, Geminis. I hope this did serve and inspire. Thank you so much. Sorry, that's what I wanted to go into again. So it's like the House of Night. Oh my goodness, I apologize. And see all like these windows there. And it's like lighting things up just like the shaman. The shamanic aspect down here. And it's like when I'm sleeping in the House of Night. It is, yes. I'm lucid. I'm awake. And there's different states, altered states, but there's some sort of a claim that spirit is asking you, your spirit guide. There's that candle up there. Your spirit guide is asking your energy to continue like reaching out and to reach for what it is that you want, because you have it there. This fairy godmother, if I may.
I want you to go.
And they do. They want you to move on. If there's someone specifically that is you're holding on to in regards to grief or guilt, they do want you to move on towards love, because that's where they hold you. All right, now I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much, Geminis. I hope this did serve and inspire. And until next time, I will see you again soon. We'll flip your ink blot for a different perspective for the aura of like the end of Jan. Until then, bye. Yeah. Anything else goes to there? Wonderful. And on the bottom here we have High Priestess for the gems. Beautiful.